So, just kicking off the vlog of the new year. I feel weird because it is, I don't know, New Year's is like really symbolic. Like, I don't really go and make all these crazy resolutions or anything. I've never really celebrated New Year's with anything traditional. I think, you know, it's a natural time to do some reflecting. So I think I do kind of come up with some things I'd like to do differently or better, but it's not like I'm going to do my New Year's resolutions this year, whatever. And again, I don't really celebrate New Year's either by having like a certain traditional event or party or something. So it's never really been a thing for me or my family. So, but it's also weird because like I spent over a week with Rebecca straight and Ren, and just like part of that was in Saskatoon traveling, and part of it was here in Lethbridge, and now I'm just alone, and it's just like, oh, that's a thing. I guess you could just be alone, and I feel a little anxious. As I get, if I stay busy, then I think that'll dissipate, and then I'll whatever have to get used to reality again. I want to show you some art stuff. So some interesting things. The studio is a mess right now, as you can see. I still got Ren's water dish here from yesterday. So this piece I want to show you is called Imbrew, and it's probably not like a good way to show you this. If it was on the wall, it'd be better. So it is from 2018, but it wasn't stretched. I painted it on some loose canvas and thought I would get stretch bars later, but Michael's here doesn't sell stretch bars. I couldn't get them in the one art store we had like that sold some stretch bars. They like closed down, or maybe they didn't even have any. I don't remember, but they closed down a while ago anyway. And this painting has been sitting there rolled up on canvas. And then when I was in Saskatoon, I made a point to buy some stretch bars that were that size. I tried to do it in Calgary another time, but they didn't have the sizes I needed. So I was able to finally stretch it. I do like the piece still, but it's just weird because it's, not something that I've really done before. Like, it was very out of style for me then and now. But 2018, there's that. I'm still working on this noose thing. I don't know when I'll get around to it. I do want to do it. This X-ray, it is on an X-ray, but it's the MRI piece. I don't really know what's going on with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Feels a little odd. It is odd, but I don't know what to do with it. So there's that. Then this is something I'm excited about. So this is a sketchbook. So my friend and I are going to exchange sketchbooks. She has one, I have one, and I started working on the cover for it. So she asked me a while ago, like, if I'd be into doing some sketchbook project thing. And I was like, I don't draw, though. Like, I'm really not good at drawing. And it just finally clicked one day, like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be traditional drawing, like sketchbook stuff, but it's this thing of just exchanging it back and forth. And then it was like a couple of weeks later that it clicked with me. I was like, wait a second, we could have two sketchbooks, so there's never a person without one. And I just thought, like, man, I remember that there's this thing. I don't even know. I don't even want to go. I had a poetry book, and when I was in my teens, and it was like just a black like sketchbook, very plain hardcover, and basically I made it into this piece of art, which was like it had like the cover was all torn up and had like this cream spray paint and ink that I melted on it and candle wax and all this crazy stuff, and then. This girl that I started seeing when I was 17 borrowed it, and her roommate at the boarding school they were at, LCBI, the roommate borrowed it and burnt it because she was really jealous that I was with this other girl and not her. That's the short story. But the book in itself, other than the poetry that was in it, the book was this beautiful art piece, and I'd never done, like, I feel like I never made art before. and it was this beautiful thing. And I just something clicked with that, and just doing this, and I was like, oh well, my first order of business is to make the cover and stuff. So I just kind of started doing stuff in here with this nice duct tape and some gold leaf and some marker, just kind of going off the rails with it. I didn't do a lot back here. I don't know if I'm going to do more today or what, but use this black mosaic grout. I don't know. I just went wild with it yesterday, and I'm really excited. Like I think it's going to be really cool, and it's a cool concept. And we just each have a sketchbook, and then we meet like every week or two, and then exchange sketchbooks, and just check out what the other person did in there. But also like we can like play with what the other person did. Like there's no boundaries really. The only thing is, I will be posting some of this on my Instagram, and I think she'll be posting some too on her art account. So it's a way for us to just like share that with people, and we won't post every single thing on there, but we'll ask each other first, like, can we share this or share that? Anyway, I just think it's a cool way of having accessibility to do art at any time with the drawing, because for me, it's just like, yeah, I can pick up a pencil and do art anytime, really, but I never think of it that way because I think of this, I think of the studio, I think of painting, I think of all these things. So I'm really excited for that, and I think that it'll provide some really great opportunities. So I think that was a great idea, and once it finally clicked for me, yeah, I'm happy to get rolling on it. So anyway, it is January 1st, and that's all I really have to say. Happy New Year, 2023. I forgot to mention, I have art goals for this year. Right here. I made this yesterday too. Art goals, I guess we'll talk about them because I feel like I've completed one of them already. It's weird because I dated it I feel like I dated it 2022 because I finished it yesterday, but technically I didn't put a finish on it till today. So just like, I feel like I checked that off yesterday, even though it was technically the 2022, not 2023. So yesterday I just felt like, I want to paint a live portrait of Rebecca. And I did. And this background was already here. I've had this canvas for years and just picked it up and was like, let's do it. Let's do it. And part of me was like, I wanted to do a portrait in landscape orientation, but I just wanted to paint live. I've never done that. I've never painted live before. I've always had like a photo reference. I've drawn from live models in like university, but I've never painted that way. So I would say 95% of this is palette knife. I used a brush for very, very, very little, and that was the result. So quickly, let's go over the art goals for 2023. Paint another pink guy piece. Use water-soluble oils. Paint Heat piece from the movie. Publish poetry photo book. Begin memoir. Paint B-box piece. Paint house portrait. Paint Birdman portrait. Paint Seinfeld art. Paint Wren, which will be a challenge. Paint dispensation piece. Finish Price is Right painting. Oh, there's no N on that painting. And paint live portrait of Rebecca, which I just did. So, yeah, there you have it. There are my art goals. Some are very specific with pieces that I want to make sure I finish and complete, and some are more general. I have way more goals than last time, I feel. Some of them are the same, some of them are new. But you can watch last week's vlog concerning my goals and stuff and how I feel about that. And the reading glasses reading challenge. I guess we need to talk about that. Why don't we do that? I feel like we got a longer vlog today. So here we are. The Reading Glasses Reading Challenge 2023. Here's what it is. Books to read. So again, you can learn more about this in the last conversation I did. But I've been doing the Reading Glasses Challenge. This will be my third one. And for 2021, I completed it, which was my first time doing it. 2022, I did not complete it. 2023, we'll see what happens. So you got this all comes from a podcast called Reading Glasses. It's really fun. You should check it out. Anyway, but if you want to go on this journey with me, that'd be cool. Let me know. Somehow reach out. Let me know you're doing the challenge. So there's 5 book tasks and 5 different kinds of books. So, books to read. A novella. Read any novella. I'm planning to read Stephen King because it's accessible to me. There's novellas of his that I haven't read yet. So, the second thing, give a book a second chance. Now, for this one specifically, I don't know what book I'm going to give a second chance, but there is an author I'm going to give a second chance to. So in high school, the librarian in the school was like, "Oh, you really like Stephen King? You'd like Dean Koontz." And I was like, "Listen, here, don't compare Stephen King. I don't know who this Dean Koontz Joker is, but no, don't do that." I decided to start reading one, and I quit reading it, like 40 pages in, I think. I don't remember what book it was. So I purchased a Dean Koontz book the other day, and that's going to be how I'm going to give a book a second chance, I guess. I don't think it was the same book, but I have no idea what book it was in high school that I tried. So number 3, read a book that has a disabled protagonist. So I've got 2 books. I haven't decided which I'm going to read yet. My Left Foot is a book I've wanted to read for a while. There's a movie adaptation with Daniel Day-Lewis. I have not seen that. I don't own the book. I don't own the movie. I would like to own the book, and if I can get a copy of the book soon enough, then I will read that one. However, I do have The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which could fit into this category. And I do own that, and I have not read it yet. So, number 4, read a book about a library or a bookstore. I have one called Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore that I'm going to read, so that'll be the one for that one. And then number 5, favorite book of someone close to you. Now, I've asked Rebecca, and she doesn't really have an answer for that. I asked my friend Jordan. He didn't really have an answer for that yet. So I'm going to ask my friend Alex and see if he's got one for me. But it also has to be like, it's a favorite book of someone that's close to me, but also one that I haven't read yet. Because both like Jordan and Alex, I think they have favorite books that I have read. So we'll see. Book tasks. Number 1, track the countries where your books take place. Number 2, attend a library event. That one will be tricky. I'm going to try to do it, but yeah. 3, figure out your dog house, which is like what turns you off about a book. And 4, try some background reading sounds, which I will try to have like something going on in the background. I can't listen to music. Generally, when I read, I can't listen to people talk. That just doesn't work for me. Number 5, favorite book of someone, Number 5, book task, read an interview with an author you love. That should be easy enough to do. So anyway, those are the 5 books to read. Those are the 5 book tasks. I'll have a screenshot in here of that, and happy reading. Well, just some things I'm working on in the studio. I finally figured out what I think my next step is with this, which is going to be adding some black here. After that, I don't know. I'm redoing this old piece of Blood and Thunder. I just got it back from Big John's because I exchanged some stuff out there, swapped some stuff, and I'm going to do that. I haven't worked on this for a couple weeks now, but I do want to complete it. And yeah, started this the other day. I'm coming to the conclusion that there's 2 reasons my work is shifting in the way that it is. One is just that's what happens. Hopefully that your art practice matures, and that can mean different things for different people. But for me, part of my art practice changing and growing and me learning about what my needs are and how to be a better artist and be a better me is having multiple pieces on the go, not just doing this is the one thing I'm working on and that is it, and being able to give things more room to breathe, to figure out how to resolve them, rather than creating massive disruption in order to resolve them. And with that, though, I wish I had a bigger studio, right? I wish that I could hang more pieces up and being able to see them and being able to just work on this and work on that one and work on that one. And it's one of those interesting things that I know that there are tons of artists that work like that, but I just never have. And it's like, oh, now I get it. Like it just finally kind of hit as for why it makes sense for me to do now at this point in my art life. That's it, really. I just kind of wanted to give you an update on that. And wrapping up the vlog, there's only one other video this week, which is there's two. There are two videos this week. I did a review that I've been meaning to do for months. I'm really behind on reviews. I want to start getting into the flow of them again, because every time it's kind of like with portrait work. It's like I lose so much of what I learned if I leave too much time in between doing them. And for me with reviews, there's so many things that I can fine tune, and I can start to streamline things, and I can make them quicker instead of rambling, but I forget all the things I learn in between unless I'm doing them and then making those mistakes again. So there is another video, which is for Rain Man, the 1988 film with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Felt like I could have done it a lot better, but that's the thing. It's like now, okay, for the next time, now I've got something to work on. And the other video is a conversation that I had on, again. The one before that was about goals and goal setting, and this one was the first one of the new year, and it was about, vague and sincere apologies. Yeah, it's a tough one. It just had to do with giving apologies, not for me in my heart, to very specific people and very specific scenarios and things that I've done. But it was just in the spirit again of reflecting upon the new year and what I would like to change, and also giving myself acknowledgement of what I have changed and what I still need to do. So anyway, there's two other videos this week. There's that conversation, and then there is the Rain Man review. And with that, we'll see you another time.